All right, guys, we're gonna do a segment which I enjoy, TikTok reaction videos. As long as TikTok is gonna be around, we're gonna react to the craziness, what people have on there. We're hoping to debunk some crazy information on gut health, but also more importantly, give you education on what you can do so you're not fooled by the crazies that are out there, maybe giving you the wrong information. This will be medutainment on TikTok. My reaction videos for your gut health. Guys, let's talk about poop.
Did you know that if you mix olive oil with the juice of a lemon and consume it every day on an empty stomach, you'll be able to cleanse your liver, gallbladder, and intestines in just 5 days? If you want to get rid of bloating, constipation, and the buildup of toxins in your body, follow these steps. In a small glass, add 1 tablespoon or half an ounce of olive oil. Next, add 1 tablespoon or half an ounce of lemon juice. Finally, add half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is essential for this recipe because it not only stimulates digestion and boosts metabolism, but it also helps reduce appetite, which can be beneficial for those looking to lose weight and reduce bloating. Mix the ingredients well, and it's ready. How should you take it? Drink this mixture in the morning on an empty stomach for 5 consecutive days, then take a 2-day break. You can take it from Monday to Friday and rest on the weekend. You can repeat this for up to 4 weeks for a complete cleanse, but you'll start noticing its benefits from the first week. By reducing all the toxins and waste in your body, you'll feel great and full of energy.
There's a lot to unpack on this video, so let's talk about this. So let's start with the idea of detoxifying your body. I've seen so many videos online about the need to detoxify your body and taking these pills, these supplements, these things to detoxify what is going on in your body. So let me tell you the lowdown on detoxification. You do not need to detoxify yourself. Literally, if you have a working liver, if you have a working kidney, even just one kidney, and you're able to pee and you're able to poop, that's all you need. You've already detoxified. Our body, for the past billions of years, before we had TikTok, before we had supplements and whatever, we found ways to naturally detoxify ourselves. So you do not need to detoxify yourself if you don't want to. If you literally have, once again, working organs in your body, the liver, one kidney, you can pee in your poop. That's all you need to do. So don't worry about trying to find ways to detoxify yourself. Now let's talk about the specific regimen that you have in here. So there's no evidence that taking olive oil with lemon water, with lemons, with cayenne pepper, 5 days on and then 2 day of break is gonna make things more or less detox for you. Now, there are some evidence that having lemon water in the morning can help out with digestion. I commonly recommend this. In fact, I actually recommend lemon water when something hot because it's the hotness, like the hot water or hot tea, can actually stimulate what's called the gastrocolic reflex to move things through and allow things to pass through. So if you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to add lemon water with some olive oil, that's okay as well. I've had some patients who tell me they feel so much better. They have less hunger, they have more energy, less bloating. There's nothing wrong with that as well. And even if you want to add in cayenne pepper, that's okay. Just realize though, that adding cayenne pepper may make things worse for you. So hot items like pepper, spicy foods will make reflux symptoms worse. So if you have acid reflux already, it may make it worse. If you have diarrhea, it's gonna make it worse as well because it'll stimulate things to pass through a lot more quicker. And also if you have hemorrhoid issues, you have pain receptors in your rectum that can be irritated when you have hot foods as well. This is why spicy foods commonly can trigger hemorrhoid symptoms as well. So just be wary of that. If you want to try this, that's fine. See if it helps out with your gut health with bloating and constipation. But don't do this just to detoxify yourself because there's no reason to. You don't need to detoxify yourself. It's literally, there's no reason to do this whatsoever.
Here's what your bloating could be telling you from a nutritionist, part 1. I never really hear people talking about this, but there are different kinds of bloating, and based on which one you're dealing with, there could be a different thing going on inside of your gut. So we're gonna go over today upper bloating. Now, what is upper bloating? Upper bloating is when you feel that uncomfortable distension high in the upper part of your digestion, typically in between the rib cages and above the belly button. So that can be due to a lack of stomach acid. Contrary to popular beliefs, stomach acid.
All right, so before I just gotta stop right now before we continue this. All right, so let's kind of dive into this controversy that people are talking about in terms of lack of stomach acid. All right, so There are some conditions which do lead to lack of stomach acid. So for example, if you take an acid reducing therapy, obviously you're reducing stomach acid from that. If you have H. pylori, especially pan-gastritis from H. pylori, H. pylori is a bacterial infection that can destroy the acid cells to cause lack of stomach acid as well. Sometimes other autoimmune diseases can also cause you to lack stomach acid. But by and far, let me stress this, not the vast majority of people don't have these issues or they don't have these conditions. And so to put this idea in the head that lack of stomach acid is the cause for your issues is not true. You have to have basic anatomy just to know this. So you are every 24 hours, you're making stomach acid cells. You have cells called parietal cells in your stomach that are regenerated and made every 24 hours. So unless you have these other conditions which are causing you to not have stomach acid, or you take an acid reducing therapy medication to literally stop your stomach acid production, you should not be suffering from low stomach acid. And I don't know why this is so prevalent in the social media space about the causes for some of the issues. So I gotta stress this, man. There's no evidence for this. So off the bat, I don't know what she's talking about. Let's see if there's any more information on here that I will agree or disagree with.
Acid is actually our friend. One of its main jobs is to help us break down our food. So if we don't have enough stomach acid, then our food isn't getting broken down properly and moving down the digestive tract. Instead, it is just sitting in the stomach in that upper part of our digestion. And when
So that's not right. So that's 100% not right. That's 1,000% not right. Your food doesn't just sit there and just hangs out all day because you don't have any stomach acid. Your stomach is constantly churning and moving. The whole role of the stomach is to break food down by just churning into its smallest component. So it does get absorbed into the small intestine. Now you still produce stomach acid to help break that process down. But once again, the lack of stomach acid does not mean you cannot digest food. This would mean that anyone who's on a PPI, which includes me and literally like millions of people, would not be able to digest food at all. That's not the case. I digest fine, and there are millions of people who take a stomach acid who still digest fine. This is not true.
food sits in a warm environment, a 98.6 degree environment, for example, it can start to ferment. And that fermentation...
Oh my gosh, that makes no sense. Food sitting in a warm environment will start to ferment. What science is this? Is this like made up science? There's no science behind this.
Can create bubbles and gas and bloating. So a couple of ways you can support your stomach acid and therefore support upper bloating is 1, take 5 deep breaths before each meal. This can help.
Okay, I'm happy if you want to take 5 deep breaths before each meal, but explain to me literally how that's going to help out with stomach acid production. Like, give me some science behind that. So if I take 4.5 deep breaths, do I not produce stomach acid? If I take 6 breaths, am I taking too many? Like, what does that even mean? Why is it 5? How does that produce stomach acid? I don't understand this. Please explain this to me. I have a feeling she's not gonna be able to explain exactly the science behind this.
Move the body into a parasympathetic or a rest and digest state. If we stay stuck in a sympathetic state, that's our fight or flight, and digestion and stomach acid are shut off. Number 2, you can have...
Okay. You can't automatically like switch from parasympathetic to sympathetic with 5 deep breaths. Like, that will help out and help out with some vagus nerve stimulation, but okay, I don't get this.
2, you can have a bitters in soda or sparkling water 15 minutes before meals. Bitter herbs help to wake...
Okay. So you're telling me that you want me to take something bubbly and full of gas and carbonation to help out with bloating before I eat. So you want me to actually ingest more gas and more bubbles to help out with bloating? How does that make sense? Now, having bitter food, okay, if you want to do that, it's fine. But if you're trying to reduce the gas in your stomach, adding in more gas is not the way to reduce more gas. That math doesn't make sense here.
Help to wake up digestion by stimulating the parietal cells in the stomach, which secrete stomach acid.
All right, I think I got an aneurysm from watching that video. Okay, so let's talk about bloating here. Bloating is a common problem that a lot of patients have. It's a common symptom that I see in the GI tract. And there's 3 main reasons why people have bloating. Number 1, it could be how you're eating and what you're eating. Number 2 could be how you are digesting or how your digestion is. And number 3, it could be how you're expelling everything out. And sometimes we have to tease down exactly which of those 3 components it is, whether it's what you're eating or how you're eating. So certain foods can cause bloating, or how you actually ingest that food can cause bloating. Number 2 is there something going on intrinsically inside your gut to cause you to have a lot more bloating? So conditions like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, irritable bowel syndrome, functional dyspepsia, hypersensitivity, or is it how things are expelling out? Are you having good complete bowel movements? Are you emptying completely? And so we have to do a deep dive on this, but this advice, I would never recommend this for anyone who has bloating issues. So don't try and do it. Well, try it. I think you're gonna find out it doesn't work. Let me know in the comments down below if it does work or not. I really am curious what you guys think about that.
Bananas are great for stopping diarrhea because they contain pectin, a soluble fiber that helps absorb excess water in the intestines, making stools firmer. White rice is another excellent option because it's low in fiber and easy to digest, which helps bulk up the stool and slow down diarrhea. Applesauce is beneficial due to its pectin content, which works similarly to bananas. Toast made from white bread also helps. It's a bland food that is gentle on the stomach and helps absorb excess fluids in the intestines. Yogurt, especially those containing probiotics, helps restore the balance of good bacteria in your gut, which can be disrupted during a bout of diarrhea. Finally, blueberries have natural compounds called anthocyanins, which helps reduce inflammation and slow down diarrhea. Follow us for the best daily health insights.
All right, these tips are not bad, actually. In fact, I would probably recommend these. So let's go through these individually. So bananas, this is great for when it comes to diarrhea. They have potassium and other ingredients to help out when it comes to diarrhea, to help out restore your gut microbiome. So I'm happy with this. Makes sense. The other tips on here: rice, toast, applesauce. So rice and toast, it's all part of the brat diet, which we recommend for individuals who are having diarrhea. It's something that's easy to digest, easy to absorb, easy for your gut, to improve your gut microbiome. So I'm happy with this. This makes a lot of sense as well. Applesauce, just kind of be careful of that. It has a lot of sugar in there, and the intensity of the sugar may be something you don't want to have when you're having an acute episode of diarrhea. So kind of maybe hold off on that. That may be what I would not recommend. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, any type of berry, just once again, whenever you're having acute diarrhea, you may want to not have something as sweet as that. Though I'm a huge fan of this on a normal basis. When you're not feeling good, you want to try and have things that are less intense on your gut. So you may want to back off from that. But overall, I think these are great tips, especially if you're having chronic diarrhea or even acute diarrhea as well. Now, other things I recommend, also make sure you're staying hydrated. The most important thing when it comes to diarrhea is keeping hydration, and the best hydration method we use is Pedialyte. Unfortunately, things like Gatorade have a lot of sugar in them, which are not good for your gut and for diarrhea when you're having immense diarrhea. So Pedialyte is a little bit easier, a little bit gentle. If you can't drink Pedialyte, have the Pedialyte popsicles. These work well, but most importantly, keep yourself hydrated. This is going to be the best thing you can do to hopefully make sure your diarrhea is resolved. And if diarrhea is not better after a week or so, see someone like me so we can find out what's going on, get you taken care of it, and get down to the root cause while you're actually having the diarrhea. All right, guys, as we wrap up today, I want to thank you for watching. I love reacting to TikTok videos or any social media videos to give you my thoughts about what I think is going on. I want to take a second to invite you to share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from these topics. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your friend. Let's make sure they get solid health information. Secondly, I'd love to have an opportunity to help out with your gut health. Visit us at levelgastro.com to make an online appointment so we can find out what's going on and get you feeling better. Well, thank you for watching. Look forward to seeing you guys on future videos.